I was interested in this comment about dance, which often comes up, which is that dance is ephemeral. We just sort of assume, dance happens and then it goes away, but actually there's a lot more to it that remains. I looked at something that was going on in my choreography recently, where I was looking at how to dance without deliberately thinking of the movement we're doing. And behind that is this idea that if we get rid of the thinking, then what pathways and vocabularies appear, and perhaps these are the ones that I haven't been able to discover when I'm constructing something really concrete. The work really allows us and asks us to suspend our thinking in order to let the dance come from the body rather than sort of being disrupted from thought or deliberate wording, because I think language can almost disrupt possibilities of movement. I've worked with Tom Woodman and Rachel Wisby before. They're highly intelligent. They make their own, mostly solo works, and I just felt straight away we could go forward. I didn't have to sort of get them in my headspace. They were already there, and if anything, they're ahead of me and I have to catch up. Training plays a part in what the vocabulary is and how that's transmitted into them and what's encouraged of the dance itself. For myself, I didn't want to sort of be doing these same rhythms, same pathways, same energies, and it's just this quest of mine to find out what else I can do with my body. I think these idiosyncratic actions and these sort of destabilising, restabilisings that you see in the movement, they're an interest of mine that I sort of haven't finished with yet. Like, I just keep going back for more, like what else can we do? Andrew Treloar did the costuming and the bag, and we've worked together for about a decade or so now. And sometimes elements from previous works leak into the next and into the next, these sort of threads. And the bag just has sort of been there since 2018 in some ways. I've often, through the years of making works, been interested in the public and the private quality of performance and sort of almost thriving on the theatre of the reveal. I really love how the bag echoes that kind of shielding and revealing, but there's a sense of, if we look like we can't see but we're being seen, there's something that's psychological about that too. And these elements that connect also up with shame or lack of shame, it's sort of a question mark, presenting the problem, not endorsing the problem. The patterning and the rhythm is fascinating because like the non-pattern becomes a pattern, and the sound, the music that Dwayne Morrison has composed for it is similar. This thing where you can sense that it's changed, but you didn't notice the change in the music. This sort of idea of having sections or chapters is sort of this undercurrent, but it's not clearly defined, which is something I'm interested in also. There is sort of energy states, so it's sort of like procedural, and then it becomes more convoluted or extremely sort of momentous, and then there's this stillness. When you get to the stillness, as the viewer possibly and as the performer, you do address whether you're still eroding that thinking as you were when you were in action at high speed. Sometimes your mind races when you're in stillness, so these paradoxes appear. If the senses are heightened, you reach another sense, which is the intuitive sense. So, maybe that might occur with this dance. Maybe that's what happens. I'd love the viewer to be experiencing what we're experiencing. So maybe they'll go through phases where they're not thinking anymore. If that's the quest for us, maybe that is the quest for the viewer too.